quickness on defense. Offensively and defensively, Craig really depends on their quickness, and that really favors them. You can sense and see that their legs are very fresh tonight, not playing in a couple days.
Boylan got a hand on it. A shot up by Damon Stanley. Did not go for the Craig Cougars. And the rebound came back to the Parker Vikings. Phil Boylan with a long shot, doesn't go. Rebound, Cougars. Back down the other end. Nice shot. Baseline drive, Damon Stanley. Minute 16 left in the third quarter. It's 60 big points for the Janesville Craig Cougars. So they're on a pace to score 80 points.
Well, Jennings doing a nice job previously pushing the ball down with a nice pass to Stanley down low for the layup, but this time he gets caught trying to pick the pocket of Parker with a foul, and that will be his third.
60-23 is our score. Parker Vikings with the ball. Parker Vikings, Church, long, would have been a three, doesn't go, fought for, rebound, and a rebound, nice job of tracking that rebound down by Nate Wolf.
And a nice effort by Nate to save the ball out to Szynski, going to the free throw line with a chance for two, a shooting foul.
Shooting foul is a 15th foul on the Janesville Craig Cougars, and that was committed by Maury Adams, 6'3" senior, number 54. And at the line tie, Szynski off the front of the rim, just won't go down. Had a nice roll. Minute 16 left, third quarter. Parker Vikings have scored 5 points here in the third quarter.
And coming up short on both of them, Patrick.
Yep.
And,
rebound, Damon Stanley, taken away by Szynski. Szynski over to Church. Nice shot. Church for two. So a little excitement there from the Parker Vikings. They get two off of a turnover from the Cougars. Down on the other end, a shot up that misses by Maury Adams. Rebound by Phil Boylan of the Parker Vikings. The Vikings inside, number 25 up, doesn't go. Nate Wolf misses.
Boy, that would have been a big play for Parker, but Craig kind of getting out of position in the last minute here, Patrick, defensively.
49 seconds left here, third quarter.
But again, going to the free throw line, and you got to knock these down when it really matters. And boy, I'll tell you what, I can see one thing that they will be working on in practice on Monday is free throws. But
Cullen Berry with that foul. Number 25 for the Vikings is Nate Wolf at the free throw line. 1 out of 2. Down to the last 45 seconds of the third quarter. Cougars passing it around in a little triangle. Almost looks like the old Bulls triangle offense, but they try to drive the lane. Well, Stan Filippo.
And there again, Patrick, letting Craig get into the middle of the floor and dribble penetrate. And once they hit the paint, it's so easy to find the open man, and they're going to knock it down. Craig does a nice job of finishing. They have a lot of finishers on this team. And Craig with another opportunity, swinging it around for a shot.
Going to take the long one, and it doesn't go for San Filippo. And it's out of bounds on the other side of the court for the Janesville Craig Cougars. 28 seconds left, third quarter.
And third offensive opportunity for Craig, and a long shot from way outside. I don't know if that was a
yeah, I don't know if that was a shot or a pass. Either way, it ended up in the hands of Damon Stanley, who put it up for two, and the Cougars are at 62.
Oh, nice play by Stanley.
He took it away, and before he had a chance to shoot, we had a whistle with 6 seconds left in the third quarter. And we're going to have a foul.
And Patrick, it really hurts Parker when they don't execute offensively, and we kind of are getting a sense of what Coach Miller was talking about, that they need to find a way to score consistently, and they have not done so tonight.
Craig with the ball. There was a foul there, and that's the end of the third quarter. Craig got the ball back on a foul by Nate Wolf, but the third quarter is over. The Craig Cougars lead it 62-26 over the Parker Vikings. You are watching Big 8 basketball on Marcus Media Sports.
During the month of January, the village has taken our low prices
and dropped them even more.
Save up to 50% off living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, any room.
Plus, get blowout prices of selected audio, video, and appliances.
Everything you want on sale.
And no interest till the next millennium.
Many one of a kind.
So shop early for the best selection.
Up to 50% off at the village.
Highway 14 East, Janesville.
Start a new career, improve your job skills, soar to success at Blackhawk Technical College.
I'm a single mom. BTC training has helped me get a great job and an even greater life with my 11-year-old daughter, Tracy. Smaller classes and instructors who care give BTC a friendly atmosphere.
I have a 4-year college degree, but I like to learn aviation maintenance. Most people get great paying jobs well before graduation.
It's your life. Soar to success at BTC.
Back at Craig High School. It's a big lead for the Craig Cougars. That's all I'm going to say. I don't even want to repeat the score. It might depress some of our Parker fans out there, Joe.
Well, it's very difficult. We talked about how important it was for Parker to shoot well, get back on defense, and make Craig play half court. Well, they did that for the most part in the first half, but Craig come up with enough turnovers and offensive possessions where they really took off and have a substantial lead of 62-26.
Fans heading for the exits now as we start the fourth quarter. Long shot doesn't go. Number 41 is Brian Orritt, and I believe with him in there, that is the whole bench in the game eventually at one time or another for the Craig Cougars as Szynski tries an underhanded shot underneath. The rebound comes back to number 54, Maury Adams. And the Craig Cougars rushing down the court. Adams up with the shot, doesn't go. Rebound.
Oh, nice block.
Joe Robinson, but there was a block. Who made that block? That was
well,
nice
that
block.
was Szynski, but Joe Robinson getting on the weak side board and no one putting a body on him. Craig just there for the taking. Oh, boy, that's a tough one.
Cougars set inbound play, but the basket doesn't go, and the rebound comes back to Maurice Mueller.
Well, Craig did a nice job of Patrick, spreading the floor there and getting a nice open shot, just not knocking it down.
We got Furman back in there. He kicks it out to number 40. He kicks it over to 23, so it went from Mueller to Kelly, and nothing there on the shot. 54, Maury Adams with the score for the Craig Cougars, puts them up 2 more points, 64-26, fourth quarter action here at Craig High School, and it's out of bounds. The Big 8 standings, we have Madison West technically in first place. They have a bye this evening. They're at 7-0. Janesville Craig is at 6-0. Madison East at 4-2, Middleton at 3-3 along with Sutton Prairie. Next week, Craig plays Madison West. So if this game ends up as it's going, which obviously it will, Craig will be 7-0 going to meet Madison West at 7-0. And that will be for the top of the Big 8 conference.
In a big game, they are playing at Madison West, and that is going to be a big basketball game in the effect that it's going to be for the Big 8 lead. But right now, Craig resting their starters with Madison West having a bye, kind of a luxury for them having a bye before they have to play Craig. But on the other hand, Craig getting a chance to rest some of their starters and their key players tonight. So a lot of bench players for Craig getting an opportunity to put some time in.
And that time is important because they can be called on at any time. You never know what will happen. Injuries, etc. happen throughout the season, so that game time is important. And when it comes to playoff time, that can enter in big time.
No question, Patrick, but Craig is just so deep. I mean, before they started playing the whole bench tonight, they played 12 players, and in upwards they could play 13 or 14 and not really lose a beat. Defensively, they came in and we talked about they had one starter, Aubrey Lewis, on the floor, and they had 4 subs, and they made a heck of a run there with defensive pressure.
Furman up with a shot, doesn't go. Szynski made a shot that didn't go. Mueller got the rebound, and on the ensuing play, Furman got fouled and will go to the line. And was the foul on Maury Adams. Furman sinks his first one from the free throw line.
Well, it's been a while, Patrick, since I put down a score for either team. Really struggling off it. Oh, nice play by Szynski.
Oh, yeah, he got in there. So Szynski playing well, and the Parker Vikings, if they could play as well as they do in streaks in this game, they'd be something. They just got to put it together for a whole game. Number 45 up, it doesn't go for Josh Biddick, a 6'1" senior for the Janesville Craig Cougars. Back come the Vikings on the rebound.
And pretty tough, Patrick, when Szynski, for the most part, having a couple pretty good games coming into this one in scoring-wise, and that was his first field goal of the game. That's pretty tough when one of your top scorers,
yeah, Szynski, who had 17 points last game, in this game has just one. Also, Klawitter on the Cougars with 3 more threes to add to his arsenal. He came in with 7 in the last 2 games. That gives him 10 3-pointers in the last 3 games. So he's got that range now.
Well, he had 3 threes, 11 points total, and he's just got a nice touch, and it really makes it easier on him when he gets good looks because of Saunders' dribble penetration. That's what I talked about at the beginning. Parker needed to clamp down on Saunders and the other guards' dribble penetration because they have shooters that could knock him down.
Craig, long shot doesn't go. That was put up there by Joe Ryan. And the Parker Vikings, Szynski coming down court and scoring 2 from the free throw line. So he's starting to get on the scoreboard at 64-31. 4:45 left in the game. And the Craig Cougars have not had a starter in this game since middle of the 3rd quarter. We're in the middle of the 4th quarter, so for one whole quarter, there has not been one starter on the floor for the Janesville Craig Cougars.
And that's where I talked about that. Getting this lead is allowing Coach Studer to rest some of his key players for that big matchup against Madison West.
Szynski with another rebound on a miss by Joe Ryan. So Szynski hauling down the boards and starting to score here later in the game as he's had the opportunity. Earlier, no opportunities. And there he is again. That's 6 points now, all in the 4th quarter for Ty Szynski.
Well, 6 straight points for Parker come from Szynski, and right now he is an awesome offensive threat. He needed to be that in the first half, but something to think about, Patrick. They're getting something positive right now, and that's what they need to do.
Back and forth in front of the paint there for the Cougars, and then trying to drive the lane was DeMond Stanley, and I think he'll end up at the free throw line on a foul, first foul on Jared Schultz, 6'3" junior for the Janesville Parker Vikings. DeMond Stanley been in the game for a while now, been doing pretty well. 6' junior is at the free throw line for the Cougars.
And he looks very strong, Patrick. If he gets the ball down low, he looks like he's a heck of an athlete that can just take the ball up and go strong to the basket. Nice touch from the free throw line as well.
65-33, the Vikings are bringing in Jared Spade and Joe Anderson. They want to get everyone involved here in this crosstown rivalry, and the rivalry has been tilted toward Craig the last 12 years. Craig has won 25 out of the 26 previous meetings, and it doesn't look like that's going to change tonight.
Craig still in their full court press. Studer maybe getting some of them kids to work on their press. And Parker right now, some
Aaron
some of their
Jacobson, yeah, taking the ball out of bounds.
some of their JV players in and getting an opportunity.
Number 45 is Chad O'Leary.
Craig really so quick tonight, Patrick. All that week rest really did them a lot of good. They're very quick on their feet and not really giving anything easy to Parker.
That would have been a 3 for Jared Spaeth just into the game for the Janesville Parker Vikings. 3:21 left in the game. And the Cougars have doubled up on the Vikings.
Oh, what a grab.
33. A lot of fighting for the ball down there as ball after ball goes up, and they're going to finally call a foul, I think, on number 45, Chad O'Leary.
Well, what a grab by Stanley, Patrick. That was outreach arm. He went up for that one. Boy, he's got a lot of athleticism. And going to the free throw line again, and he's impressive playing these minutes here in front of me. I tell you what, he's got a nice-looking shot, and he looks like he can play some ball if need be. Down low defensively for Craig, and Craig deep already. Boy, they got one heck of an athlete right there, and he's showing a nice touch.
Devon Stanley missed his first one, got his second one, so he goes 50% from the free throw line, and the Parker Vikings out of bounds, being pressed a little bit by the Craig Cougars. Both teams now with lots of players that normally don't play a lot of minutes out on the floor. And there will be a whistle as the Vikings try to get it across the paint. Both teams now will be in the bonus should we have any fouling going on with 2 minutes and 46 seconds left in the game. Craig Cougars moving the ball around on the outside, get an open shot for number 54, but it won't drop for Maury Adams.
And a nice job by Craig of moving without the ball, getting an open shot, just not knocking it down.
In the paint, a block. Number 54 will be called with a foul, Maury Adams.
And he was the previous player that got a nice open shot, failed to knock it down, defensively out of position. But realistically, Patrick, the JV players coming off the bench really have played very nicely for Craig tonight. They've done a really nice job with the
went down there for
starter.
Joe Anderson right now.
And as well for Parker, playing very well, but nice hustle.
And ending up with the ball, Joe Anderson on a rebound of his own missed free throw. Inside jumper doesn't go for Chad O'Leary.
Oh, nice heads-up pass. Leading him right to the basket, Patrick. Beautiful. Just can't teach it.
Well, Chris
Joe
Holzneck
Robinson.
with the shot and the foul. Foul will be the fourth one on number 40, Maurice Mueller, for the Parker Vikings.
But it all started with Joe Robinson, Patrick, and that great pass from half court, leading him to the basket and finishing off, but he can't finish a free throw.
Rebound on the missed shot by the Parker Vikings. Jared Schultz holding that down. Vikings coming back at 69-34, minute 55 left in the game, trying to drive the baseline. That'll be a foul on number 54, Maury Adams. So
well,
Maury Adams involved in a lot of action here, some of it not so good.
Well, defensively, he's getting called for a lot of fouls. That time, I thought he had good defensive position, but Joe Anderson going to the free throw line for 2.
Makes his first one. And makes both of them from the free throw line. Puts the Vikings at 36.
And Suter up 69-36, still up coaching, directing traffic with his players. There's that dribble penetration again, Patrick, and that's what gets them the opportunity, but it just didn't fall. And Parker doing a nice job of putting some bodies on the Cougars and blocking out. Coming up with another foul, they'll go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1.
Steve Jennings driving the lane and missing there for the Cougars.
Double bonus, Chad O'Leary going to the free throw line.
And that's the fourth foul on Maury Adams. So he's had a tough time since he came in here late in the third quarter, early in the fourth.
Well, you got to think Suter's going to take him out so he don't get a hard time from his players, and then there he does.
And we have 1:10 left in the game, 69-36 in favor of the, well, Craig Cougars.
And Coach Miller kind of talked about it. You know, he had to, find a consistency in scoring and someone to score the ball for him, and that's, I think he hit it right on the head. You got to have somebody that shoots the ball. Craig just did a nice job there of moving the ball down low.
Brian Orrick, and 6'1" junior. I'm going to have to look down the roster here. I think they played every player, have the Cougars.
Oh, nice play by Craig, and a nice push up again so quickly up the floor, and that's the story right there of the game, Patrick.
Right there, yeah, in a nutshell. Josh Fittick up and puts one in for the Cougars, 2 points. But as Joe said, if you wanted a snapshot play of this game, that was it, right there.
And that's what the story has been.
14 seconds left, and the Cougars take away the opportunity the Parker Vikings had for the last shot of the game. Craig may get the last shot of the game, but not before we have a foul at 6 seconds to go. And the Craig Cougars will have a man to the line. That will be Joe Robinson.
And it's going to be very difficult for Coach Miller to rally the troops after this one. A 36-73 right now loss, and no positives to come out of this, with the exception that they just plainly came out here and got beat. They turned the ball over way too many times, and that was the story, Patrick. Craig just quickly turned around and scored off of that.
Well, the Craig Cougars, as expected, beat the Janesville Parker Vikings. That was predicted by just about everyone, but I don't think it was predicted to be this big of a deal. 73-36 is our final score, and we will be back with Big 8 Conference wrap-up on Marcus Media Sports.